Why is Antonio Conte taking this job? Why is Antonio Conte the manager of Spurs?
It's a great question, and it can be answered on a number of levels.
I've just interviewed someone who's mentally big. He's a mentally big footballer. It's blown my mind.
I can't. Don't talk about it because I might slip out. I'm rubbish at keeping secrets.
Yeah.
Should a little no.
What I will say, right? This is my favourite thing about it. So, guys, let's go live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to James and Flav for now. The best podcast recorded at 10 on a Thursday. We've got. I've just done Dream Teams with someone who is, those. I won't say the specific one because you'll find it. Those like polls where like legitimate polls by like big organizations that put together the greatest team of all time. Yeah.
Yes.
This guy's in that team.
Yes.
Come on. It's mental.
Ollie Sachs, who's one of our patrons and is watching live as we record this, he says, say it, but then bleep it out.
Okay. I can't get people. It'd be nice to get their reactions, but we can't. I will tell you, the person who's going to be on Dream Teams, or the next two are pretty good, but the one that I've just spoken to, who is one of the greatest players of all time, is. Just spoke to him about partying with
Wow.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
And
he's
60 years old, and I don't understand it. There's your clue. I'll tell you what, I won't beat that. He's 60 years old, and he looks fantastic. Big.
That is a coup, Jim. Very good. Very good.
Speaking of coups, Flav. Speaking of coups.
All right.
Wow,
mate!
Unbelievable. We were. I don't think we need to even say his name. Forget.
No. I mean, but I quite like to. I like hearing it. I like hearing it.
Do you want me to say it? Have you ever heard of
me
say it?
Yeah, you say it. Go on.
So I don't know where everyone's been. Don't know where everyone's been up to. We've got a cracking podcast, by the way. Lots of very good comments. Unbelievable power moves. A Little Jim's Big Laugh Award that is excellent, and so much more. But I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur, and they've been quick to move, and they now have as their manager Antonio Conte. The Tottenham Hotspur manager is Antonio Conte. We haven't spoken to Flav on the pod since then. Or we did in the mailbag, actually, so if you want to become a patron, link is in the description. Costs less than a pint, depending on where you are. But Flav, how are you feeling with the fact that Antonio Conte is your manager? Ridiculous.
The thing with this, Jim, is that you're feeling so low about your football club. Like, I didn't even want to watch Spurs play, if I'm honest. I didn't under Espirito Santo. I didn't want to watch Spurs play.
The Burnley game was a low, wasn't it, for you?
The Burnley game was. I mean, it wasn't as low as getting slapped by Arsenal. I've got to be honest, but yeah.
But at least you wanted to watch that game going into it.
What, the Burnley game?
No, the Man United game. At least you were like, oh well, I want to see this. Though.
The Manchester
United Burnley
game.
That's even worse. Like, fear is one thing, but like,
just the inevitable realization that this is it for us. This is what our experience is going to be like following our football club for the foreseeable future. He's 10 games in. You're not going to sack him. So you're coming from that perspective to a completely different feeling altogether. We've got what could be described as one of the top 5 managers in the world, maybe top 3.
I mean, who's above him? Who's above him? There's a question.
Klopp and Pep, probably. Yep. But Conte's won more than all of them. Not more than Pep. He's won more than Klopp, but Klopp's just he's incredible. So I'm not going to take it away from him. I would say he's 3rd, certainly in the Premier League. And he's come to Tottenham. And that's crazy because he shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be at Tottenham. Like, with all due respect to the feelings of the fan base that I belong to Antonio Conte is a name that should be at Barcelona, at Real Madrid, at Manchester United, because he has that much gravitas and that standing, doesn't he? Like, and he was waiting for that Manchester United job. Apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, that was the only job he was willing to take mid-term. So something happened at Spurs in order to convince him to come to Tottenham, a team that's playing in the Europa Conference League. Antonio Conte, one of the best managers in the world, has come to Tottenham in part to guide us through the Europa Conference League, right? That's why he shouldn't necessarily be at Spurs.
Okay. I think I found my title, Flav. I think I found my title.
Good.
Why is Antonio Conte taking this job? Why is Antonio Conte the manager of Spurs?
It's a great question, and it can be answered on a number of levels. I think, firstly, despite where we find ourselves at the moment, Spurs are a massively attractive proposition, because if a manager comes and does it at Spurs, that's history making for us, but especially for him, because he's done what no one else could and turn a cursed club into a successful one. But off the pitch, we've got a huge stadium, we've got the training centre, we've got a global brand, all that shit that's crucial to football, unfortunately now, but is sort of spits in the face of the beautiful game, if you like, right? But it's a necessary part of the modern game. So we're attractive in those two aspects. But then you've got the human aspects as well, right? So you can tell I've been talking about this a lot because I've got a lot to say. But Paratici, our director of football, who Conte worked with for 3 years at Juve, has a good relationship with Conte. He approached him in the summer, and according to Conte, he said that he didn't join then because the feelings were too raw over what happened at Inter Milan. His heart was still there.
Do you believe that?
No, I think it's a line. I think he just wouldn't have come because why would he come to Spurs?
Is Kane going to be there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's too complicated. But I'm not saying he wasn't interested, because it seemed like the narrative around the time was that Conte was close to coming, and then it fell apart. That was what we were led to believe.
Yeah.
I think like the statements that come out from on his Instagram stuff isn't it's just PR.
I guess more importantly, what's the difference between then and now? Because ultimately the team's not better.
No, the team's not better. And apparently, according to... Okay, the difference is we need him desperately. Whereas in summer, Daniel Levy didn't need him as much. And so May, and this is just speculation, but May have been less willing to, lend himself... Daniel Levy would be less willing to buy into Conte's ideas, which are going to be expensive. And now, because the crowds are turning on Daniel Levy, he's never been as unpopular as he is right now. And he needs Conte. So he's going to be more willing to say, yeah, all right. Now Conte, because he delayed, in a way, has Daniel Levy over a barrel, because he's like, without probably saying it, Daniel Levy needs a good appointment. He really does. And this is about
with Daniel Levy, mate, is the reason why he's never been less popular down to the Super League, or is it something else?
No, it's 100% nothing to do with Super League.
Okay, why?
Because we don't win it. We haven't won anything.
We won nothing.
Can I just caveat this? Caveat this? Is I am not one of the ones that going, Daniel Levy needs to leave the football club. I'm just telling you what the mood is of the fan base, right?
Yeah, because from someone away from it who doesn't read up about all of it, and to be honest, I'm like, I'm more interested in the pitch than the shit around.
Of course.
I've actually my general idea of him is that he's very savvy and very good.
I think that is the general. I think that's a fair assessment, and the vast majority of people looking from the outside in see Daniel Levy in that exact way.
And so the people that don't like Daniel Levy, why don't they like him? Because we won nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
The people assume. I mean, if we can break it down a little bit more, but people assume, or they argue that the club is a business and it's run like a business, and that the on-pitch activities take a back seat to commercial enterprise, and they point towards a deal with NFL, and they point towards the stadium, and why all the money went into infrastructure outside when it could have gone into the team when we had Pochettino and we had the season. It's this thing I saw on Twitter where it says, has a Tottenham fan mentioned the 2016-2017 season yet today? Because that's like our best season. We didn't win anything, but it was that part where we stopped spending because the new stadium, right? So people argue that was our chance for glory. That was our chance to win the league. We had an amazing side that year, and with investment we could have pushed on. Daniel Levy instead chose to build a stadium, it was in the works. He couldn't stop that, the machinations of that anyway. But he ultimately that's what it is. We haven't won nothing, and Spurs fans want to win something, right? And that's where it comes from.
We want to win something.
Ironically, I think, and this is what I did. It doesn't make me popular. Like, I get quite a lot of stick on the pod and stuff.
Wake up!
People thinking exactly, People thinking I'm like I suck Daniel Levy off. I just think slow, steady progress. Huh?
You've never met him?
No, I mean, you would if you could, wouldn't you? Because just to say you had. But
how long is he going like this with money? Before you go, all right then, take it on. Go on then, Daniel. Slide him down. Can I get a retweet from the club as well? No. One more 20. All right.
Can I get a retweet from the club? I don't know. I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. You're just thinking about. Right. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about just Daniel Levy just placing £50 notes on my head as I nosh him off.
Yeah. You're doing it with one hand out. One hand one hand holding his bum, one hand out.
No, right. Yeah, just both bums, both cheeks. No, I was thinking he was placing the £50 on my head, and he's whispering, "If you drop it, you lose it."
Yeah. Yeah, he likes a balanced blow.
Yeah.
So happy days.
I'm not. Yes, I mean, it's however happened. Apparently, just to end this bit, Paratici was his conversation after the Manchester United defeat, El Sakiko, that finally convinced Conte that he would come to Tottenham. And he was actually planning to go to Man United. So while Manchester United won the battle... Hang
on a minute, and I want you to really go into detail on this, because I think I've got a new title. Would you say that Antonio Conte snubbed Manchester United for Tottenham?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He looked at that Man United fit and thought, you know what, Spurs probably a bit bigger now, if anything, than Man United, and why would I go there? I don't think he necessarily snubbed Manchester United. I think he was just convinced. He was convinced by Paratici to come to Tottenham. And what's really exciting about it is if he was convinced to come, it meant that we were going to give him something, right? Not just money for wages and for his wage and that, but we're going to give him players, and that's what's really exciting.
Yeah.
How will Spurs be transformed?
I saw something about that he wanted to sell Son. Was part of it.
What, you think he's come straight in and sell Son?
To get funds for something. I just saw it quickly in a paragraph in an article, and I was like, I just skipped past it because I was like, surely not. But just whilst I've got you, I might as well ask you.
I've never heard of that. I would be amazed.
Yeah, so would I. That's why I was a bit confused by it. Like, surely you build it around those two players.
Yeah. Well, we've been linked with, and I you know, my knowledge of world football. But we've been linked with Kessie of AC Milan.
Okay.
Coast, apparently he's very good. Lazzari from Lazio. Barella
would be wonderful for you.
An Italian midfielder, isn't he? He played for Italy.
Plays that Mazzala role, yeah, which is the Conte way.
But Paratici said, we're not talking about new players. We've got a squad here that needs to be worked on, and that's it. So who knows? But he will want players. It's quite exciting.
Do you know what I think's amazing about this? And it made me think about managers in general. is that because you wanted Nuno, didn't you?
Back 3 years ago, did you?
At least 2. But
well, we was at Ball Street, and I haven't worked. Remember, I was saying it at Ball Street.
Definitely, you've definitely said it. I think you've definitely said it whilst we've had this set up.
I'm happy to. I tell you what, I'm happy to say that I wasn't unhappy when he was given the job.
Yeah, but the point I'm really making is, it's so for someone who is generally seen as a good manager or had a good reputation, and at the same time, I think everyone kind of understood that why he was relieved of his duties because it was so bad. It just shows the power. Like there are some theories on that a manager actually doesn't matter that much, but what I think is amazing is that the sort of the idea, the perception of the capabilities of Spurs under Nuno and what could be achieved is sort of here. And just literally by taking one guy out and putting in a new one, no new players as of yet, the sort of the widening of the ambition of the fans and probably the players as well. Yeah, it just gets broadened into he's going to turn us into trophy winners. He's going to turn us into a team that can contest things. That's amazing. When you've literally at the same time we're now going. Can he turn Winks into a player? Can he turn Doherty into a player? Players that you were like, these guys are useless, literally like 48 hours ago. It's amazing, like the power of the mind or the power of like the reputation. And so those managers that come in, it does matter, doesn't it? Because the gravitas is the gravitas opens doors to higher standards.
I mean, the players are massively important. And look, like fans slag off footballers, and even the worst ones would absolutely wrong rings around them in a five-a-side. So they're not all players can be coached and can be useful if they've played for significant time in the Premier League. So there's that. You've also got a squad that is talented, and in Ndombele, Lo Celso, Kane, Son. Oh, they can play and they can win. You've got Romero at centre-back. You've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Lloris. Spurs aren't a shit outfit. We're a good team. It's just, under Nuno, we hadn't had a shot on target in 2 hours. Does that something significantly wrong? Not necessarily the quality of the players, because we know they're good. So what is it? And it's largely part of the tactical outfit. It's probably a big part of that was down to Kane, for obvious, reasons that are obvious. His mental. He's not. He's just not there this season, right?
Yeah.
Because if you looked at, I don't know if the breakdown tactically for Nuno is that we good actually at getting the ball into the final third. We were 5th in the league in terms of key passes into that area, but we were 18th in shots on goal. So maybe Kane was part of the problem. Now, Conte coming in to Kane, and this is the story, the narrative coming around is Kane ready to abandon any idea of leaving Tottenham after being pressed by Matt, all that shit.
Yeah.
So if you can get him on board, and a lot of it is mental, then why can't we challenge for the Champions League places now? It shouldn't be beyond us with our squad to do that.
Yeah,
we need some players, but I'm just saying, I don't know. It's just in this moment, it's just great to just feel good and be excited. That's what I tweeted the other day. Yeah. I feel excited about Spurs for the first time in years.
In years? That's not true. Mourinho, you were excited.
I did. There's a caveat there for when Jose Mourinho took over. I was excited as I am right now.
Do you know you've had 2 pockets? You've had when he first came in. Although, actually, no, you were tentative when he first came in. But the first sort of 10 games of last season, you were like,
top of the league.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Now you say that, I just revise things and say things that are probably not true. It's just in my brain, that's what reality is right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. When Jose Mourinho was top of the league, I was like, all right, football ain't great, but I can't argue with the league table. Not for 4 weeks on the bounce.
I'm just relieved you haven't got Warburton, because he would have been a really good fit for you guys. I know everyone would laugh at that. But
how are you getting on?
Back in the playoff places, ladies and gentlemen, after an away victory against Cardiff. Thank you very much.
That's a lovely result.
Really lovely drop. Really lovely drop. Just what we needed.
I know Cardiff were garbage, but they just lost their manager as well now. I think.
They have, but sometimes you got to kick a dead carcass when it's down. That's the phrase I like to use.
Bournemouth lost their first game.
Yes, they did. Yes,
impressive win by Fulham.
Yeah,
do you know what?
They look good.
I'm desperate for QPR to come up this year, Jim. Not just because of you. No one wants to see Bournemouth, Fulham, West Brom back. No one. I'm not even sure their fans want to be back in the Premier League. So no one wants to see, West Brom, like literally the world's most boring team. No one looks at West Brom and goes, can't wait, this is going to be a ding-dong game. Everyone's like, oh, fucking hell, West Brom. That's like, isn't it? Being truthful.
If that's your view, that's your view.
Yeah, it is my view.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you can't say anything because of
because I love football. I love football.
You love football. You just love football. Yeah. But it would be great. I don't want Stoke coming up. Huddersfield have been there, done that. QPR and Coventry to qualify. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I need to keep the guys happy at Sky Bet, you see, because
I know.
I don't know. Maybe there's an in. Maybe there's an in Soccer Saturday. I just think I could do it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's there for me.
You mean?
I think I could do the bloody job.
The big chair?
I want the big chair. Give it to me. I don't. I do.
Of course you do. How do you get it? How do you get it?
There's no way I get it. It's just not possible. But
there isn't with that attitude, James.
Maybe. What's his name? Julian Warren deserves it. He's earned it.
I don't know who he is, James. I know
he's the guy who does it sometimes. But if it's not him, let me have a go. Let me have a swing at it.
Even if it's not now, right? You by telling you saying, look, I know this is you might think this is a bit of a joke, but I can do that job.
Yeah.
I can do that job. There'd be no issue with me. I know you can do the job. So let them know, the producers saying, look, you may not consider me right now, but I'm just letting you know I can do this job. Sure. And when just get in their brains, plant the seeds, James. Plant the seeds, and from which giant fucking, what is it? Oak trees grow from little acorns or something like that.
Yeah, Louis in the chat right now. He put together a petition for me and you to get the gig.
I don't think
I think you take Merson's seat when you Merson to move up one. Budge up, and you do Spurs games.
Yeah. Do you know what? I quite like Paul Merson. I don't know. I mean, I know he's a gooner and stuff, but I don't dislike him. He comes out with some mental stuff, and he's got horrible takes on football. But generally, as a person, I think he's quite good.
Do you know what? I've been quite mean about Paul Merson over the years, but what I will say is I watched that documentary with him on BBC, and I thought, you are a good guy. You're a bloody lovely lad. And so, yeah, I'm sorry, Paul. Some of the things I've said.
Yeah, but we're not. You don't. This is the thing. You don't talk about.
There's no problem with saying sorry. You're allowed to say sorry in this world.
Okay? Is it too late now to say sorry?
Beep, 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 beep.
Because I'm missing more than mercies.
Well, he was a great player. So yeah, happy days. Tottenham are back.
What I want to know, obviously, I'm going to boost up Conte, and I'm going to say what amazing thing is. What do you think we can do this season and next season? What do you predict, James?
I'm really intrigued to see how much better you can play. That's the first thing I would say. It's like, how much better can you play than the way that you have been playing? Because I think
I could get him playing better football than fucking Nuno.
Yeah, because I think the average
in training, he's got them playing 3-5-2 immediately. So,
do you think he even said, he went, guys? That's what he said. They sort of parked up in a 4-4-2. He went, guys, just sort themselves out.
Do you know that Harry Winks? I mean, officially, Ryan Mason took training yesterday, but the team apparently, the training was that they wanted to do 11-a-side with both sides playing 3-5-2, really? And I'm pretty sure Ryan Mason didn't come up with that.
Mm.
Antonio, sorry, mate, your work permit's not here. Yeah, but Ryan, what I want you to do is the 2 sets, 3-5-2. We're going to be playing that formation.
Yeah.
Antonio, will you just sit down? Just sit down. Brexit means Brexit. You haven't got your work permit. Yeah. Sit down. Shut the fuck up, okay, and let me do my job.
Said Ryan.
Said Ryan Mason.
Right. Let's dive into this week's Jaffin, because there's been a lot of football chat there. Too much, some would say, but I think we'd allow it on a week like this when Queen's Park Rangers win. and Spurs are relevant again. Jim Big Laugh Award. Now, last week, Flav, we drifted into some dangerous territory. Hairdresser chat, which I thought like we milked that to death last week. Last season. We chatted about hairdressers a lot.
Did we?
I feel like we did.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So
the bloke. Yeah.
That said, we were talking about the chat that you have when they show you the mirror at the back once you've finished your haircut. Yeah. And unfortunately, or fortunately, some of the responses all made me laugh out loud, and thus they must be nominees for the Jim Big Laugh Award. Yes. So I'm just going to run through a few of my favourites. Ben Lothian. So for me, the response to Barber is always, yeah, spot on, mate. Simple but effective. And then a couple of the replies to it were, Proper Chelsea said, lovely, thanks, mate. Does the trick. Lovely.
I don't know.
Softer, a bit softer. Kelfless Sunt, I think he wants to be called. Spell it. Well, yeah. So, Kelfless Sunt said, what about, interesting. Dangerous. I think there's got to be a bit of devil in you if you don't say anything apart from perfect or spot on, because you just want to get out of there. But it was the interesting. That made me laugh out loud. So that was one. El Gringo, this made me laugh. I once panicked and blurted out, "Yep, that's my head," to a slightly confused Turkish bloke. I've had PTSD ever since. Yep, that's my head.
So it's when someone at school wishes you happy birthday and you go, "Yep, you too."
Yeah.
And then you go, "Oh!"
That would be. Do you want awkward moments, please, in the comments? That would be moments that made things that make you go. Things that make you go. Things that make you go. Daniel Burgess. When my barber shows me the back of my head, I take a moment of silence. And I start to clap as I turn around and embrace him. I give him a kiss on the cheek while slowly rub my ever-increasing bulge, then slip a couple of quid into his shirt pocket and back away.
Lovely.
Probably not true, but it did make me laugh. The backing away with an erection. That's my favourite.
It's just that. It takes a moment. She goes.
Yeah, really good. Taran Chatha. I can't lie, I'm slightly gutted. I've just been called a dickhead by my two favourite podcast hosts. Respect you, though. The game is the game. I laughed at that one. That's not a barber bit of chat, but last week we were talking... I can't remember what we were even talking to him about, but we called him a dickhead. And we... Oh, no, he said something about Yorkshire to Paul Scholes. And Paul Scholes from Manchester, isn't he? So I banned him. But what made me laugh about this is the fact that we've called him a dickhead. He's been banned for 2 weeks, so he won't even see this. But then in his comment, he's gone, respect you, though, the game's the game. It's almost like an evil laugh from me that came out there, because what's worrying here is how manipulative and abusive we can be at times. But the game is the game.
Yeah, and I don't even remember it. I have no recollection. This is all news to me. I don't think I ever did actually call anyone a dickhead.
Okay, yeah. I don't think we did.
This guy, if anything, sounds like... He's a liar. He's just a lying fucker, isn't he?
Yeah, the game's the game. Finally, and we've got some more power moves later on.
What was his name?
So many power moves. Taran.
Yeah, let me just write that down so I don't forget him this time. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Tarran. Chatha.
Taran.
Chatha.
I've just written down dickhead.
Yeah.
On here. Taran. Dickhead, and I put an exclamation mark after that.
Good. Final nominee for Big Laugh Award. This is from Liam. A good power move for when you're at the barber's and they get the mirror to show you the back of your head. Don't say anything and wait until they start to bring the mirror away. Quickly say, show me again. So they put the mirror up again. And you look in silence for as long as you can, or until they say again, "Is that okay?" And you just reply, "That'll do, pig."
That is great. I would never have the balls to do that. I would never. Could you imagine? Like, just hold their gaze. It was like in this. There's this thing. I don't remember. It was like a program about scientists and human behaviour and how we all conform in this social construct. and just abide. And we don't, there's not very much free will. We're just all just being mostly polite to each other anyway. So they go to do this disrupting behaviour and go into a restaurant, an Italian restaurant. And the game effectively is you order a spaghetti or some sort of pasta and you say, "Can I have some cheese, please?" And do you know this?
No. I can imagine. I can see where you go.
Can I have some cheese, please? And the waiter goes, "Of course you can have some cheese." And he starts grating the parmesan or whatever it might be on here. And the bloke just sits down and goes, "More cheese, please. More cheese, please." And he won't stop until the waiter decides to stop.
Right.
And obviously in the service industry, the construct is you do what you're asked to do.
Mm.
This one bun, he had to get a second block of parmesan. And it was just this pile like that. He's got "More cheese, please." And he goes, "The cost of this cheese is more than the meal."
To be fair, if that in a perfect world, that is the amount of cheese I would have on pasta.
Really? Do you love loads of cheese on it?
Go mad. Yeah, it's great. Buffet chat will not die, and we will be discussing.
You are kidding me. There can't be another fucking buffet chat.
Do you know what? In terms of thing, we didn't talk about this. Back to football chat for a second. Ollie will never die, will he? He is unbelievable. He will never die.
They've got to be gutted, though, when they Man United fans deep down.
Yeah, they
have to be.
Well, no, we're not going to sack him just yet. But don't take it. Don't take him. No one's going to use him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No.
I think Man United fans are going, we should have sacked him. Like,
well, that's
they've
it.
Kept him.
Say they lose the next couple of games.
Where are they at then?
Who do they bring in?
Who? I mean, who? I mean, it's a great question. It's like, who? They have to go on some sort of expensive. They're going to sack Solskjaer, so that's going to cost them.
Ten Hag. Ten Hag's the one, isn't it?
Ten Hag's the one, but why would he leave Ajax right now? Legitimately, could win the Champions League with Ajax.
Because it's a huge game of football. It's a huge football club to go manage.
Who?
Isn't it?
Yeah, but he can do that job whenever he can do the job whenever he likes. If he wins the Champions League with Ajax, or even gets them close, he could go to any club in the world and demand whatever he wanted.
Here's a question for people in the comments, right? Because you're saying like, he'll get that job whenever he wants. That's dangerous, right? So with that in mind, who are managers whose stock was the watermark of their stock was so high, but they actually achieved nothing?
That's a good question.
And just waited too long. I mean, in terms of not getting back into the game, Kerbishley should have got back into the game quicker. He just drifted away. It was like Titanic. He just drifted away.
Maybe that was his choice, James. He wanted out. And it was just the papers that kept dragging him back in.
Maybe. Yeah, 33-1.
Maybe he's just like, I've had enough of this. Yeah. I'm going to go and live the rest of my life with my beautiful wife and kids and just enjoy myself rather than being the horrendously high-pressure, toxic environment that is football management.
I'm trying to think of managers. I was chatting to someone about Paolo Di Canio as well the other day. There was a moment where everyone was like, he's really good. He's a really good manager, Paolo Di Canio.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, because obviously got a new manager and you got Nuno and stuff. You get to a club and you go, I'd probably sit down and go, fucking hell, there's so much work to do. Where do I start? And all the pressure. Everyone thinks, I know my name's Antonio Conte and I've got stuff working before, but I can't do it this time.
Yeah. Do you know Eddie Howe needs to get in quick, doesn't he?
Yeah. What's he waiting for?
I think he's still hoping for that Newcastle job, I think. But he needs to get a job sharpish because he's waiting a bit too long now. And you know when people used to go, he should be the Arsenal manager, he should be the next England manager. In terms of a watermark, that's pretty high.
That is, so your stock is quite high at that point, isn't it?
So if he doesn't get the Newcastle job, I don't know what job he's going to be getting that's any better than Bournemouth was. So maybe someone like him has a good shot.
It's a difficult job, Newcastle, at the moment as well. It's not easy. And
no, I think Emery would have been a good shout, you know.
Yeah, Emery's a good manager. He's a much better manager. We just crucified him when he was here because he had an accent. It's fucking horrendous, really. And Arsenal weren't that bad. I mean, obviously, seeing what Arteta's doing, it kind of feels like it's working for Arsenal now. Although, we'll see. But, up until to this point, Emery's time at Arsenal wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I think it would be a good fit because he's managed PSG and that's kind of, loads of money, dominant football. But apart from that, I think his general default is solid football. And so I think he would have worked quite well at Newcastle in terms of getting the buy-in from those players, because those players would be like, wow, like he might give us a chance of actually staying here for a little bit longer. But apparently he said no.
What manager, if he said no, what manager could keep Newcastle up now? Who can they get? Howe's probably good.
Who can they get? Let's have a look at the odds, shall we? Let's figure this out. I said on a video this week, I think they're going down. And then when the Emery thing was going to happen, I was like, ooh, that actually I quite like that idea. But with him saying no, Fonseca, I don't hate that. I don't hate the Fonseca one. I think Roberto Martinez isn't the worst shout either. I know a lot of people don't like him.
Is he not still coach of Belgium?
He is, yeah. But, got to move at some time, haven't you? Gerrard would get a response, but he's not going to go, is he?
He's not Newcastle, is he now?
Eric Ten Hag. John Terry?
No.
Yeah, it does. I think that's what...
There's one massive sort of pasty-shaped hole that you're left with.
What about Nuno? I think he'd struggle to get it, wouldn't he? They wouldn't give it to him.
Maybe.
Fabio Cannavaro. I mean, if you can go and get Potter, there you go. If you can get Potter, then great. You're not going to get him.
I'm not sure Potter keeps him up.
Yeah.
And the reason being...
You don't?
No, he's an incredible manager, and he's amazing what he's done with Brighton, it really is. But they don't need that at this moment to stay up. They need someone... I think they need Big Sam.
What about Scott Parker?
What about Big Sam?
I think Big Sam's an option.
It is an option. Scott Parker, but why? He's just moved to Bournemouth. He's doing incredible work. I know they lost the other day, but playing good, doing well. Things are good for him at the moment. If he gets them up, that is decent. Why go to Newcastle now? It's a tricky one because this is the start of the transition for Newcastle. It's not where they're going to be in 5 years. And I think everybody's thinking, Newcastle job's attractive. But whatever manager is here, by the time the money actually makes significant change, they'll probably be gone and replaced. Might even be two managers down the line. So I don't know how attractive this job is at the moment.
Can I shock you?
Yeah, go on if you can.
Do I think it'd actually be a really good shout? Because he's got an element of experience of getting the best out of a very average squad.
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney.
No.
Wayne Rooney I think Wayne Rooney is actually quite a good manager. He's got a clear kind of way of playing.
You would trust, if you were owners, Wayne Rooney would keep Newcastle up?
Name me someone who can deal with bad press better than Wayne Rooney.
No, that's true. He actually had sex with a granny and left a note, and he survived. With marriage intact.
Oh, dear. I didn't bring that up on Dream Teams. Fuck.
I can't believe Wayne. I don't know if you can say this, mention it. You shouldn't, but I will.
You can mention it, and I'll go to your shot.
Okay. This is a true story. Wayne Rooney had sex with a granny. I mean, not a granny, like an elderly prostitute. And then, for some reason, in part of his head, he thought this next thing to do would be an excellent idea. On a napkin next to the table, he wrote, "I fucked you, Wayne Rooney." He's one of the most famous people in the world. Like, do what you got to do, whatever gets you off. But don't write your name down on the wall. It's like writing your name on the wall with your own shit. Everyone knows you did it, you dirty bungle. Do you know what I mean? What was up with them kids at school who used to write their own name with their own poo on the wall? We all know it's you now. I don't know if you want to do that for weird, freaky stuff and freak people out, but don't write Ricky on the wall. Anyway.
Quotes of the week. Larry Zachoyski says, that's a prelude for some pegging for sure. That's got 21 likes. Ben Milverton, quote of the pod, a middle of meats. Will stay with me forever. If you've missed last week's podcast, it was really, really funny, actually, so go and check it out. Drew Sturk 1, quote of the pod, imagine Gundogan is some rice. football podcast. Comments of the week. Calzone. Do you like calzone? I'm not a fan.
I do, but when I went to an Italian restaurant and ordered the vegetarian one, which is like goat cheese and cod or whatever, and they gave me a chicken one, a chicken calzone, and I ate it.
Oh no!
I ate half of it, and it was really nice until I realised it was chicken. So bad experience.
Ricotta's such a pointless cheese. Anyway.
If you cook it, it does start to get some
flavour,
some punch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or maybe it's if you have it uncooked. I don't know. It's not my go-to at all.
Try both, guys. Let us know. Francois Ginin. I'm at home bored because of a heart condition. Not too serious, fortunately. And I see Jaffin is up. All of my problems go away. The moist slug in me has taken control and is ready for 1 hour of greatness. Francois, thank you very much, mate. And I'll pop that in just because we hope you're all right.
Yeah, man, 100%. That isn't the first message I've received like that this week.
Oh, nice.
So it's really, really lovely. What I'm just saying is football is a load of bollocks and it isn't important, but it is important. And it gives people respite, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I read that and I was delighted that we can make you a little bit happier with the nonsense we speak.
Hey, what's he up to? What's his background?
Francois.
What's his surname? Ginin. Francois Ginin. He's going to get laid a lot.
What's the best football name? We had a player called Leon Jean, and he was so talented. I haven't thought about him for years. He was so talented. He came through the youth setup, and then I think he had some problems, and his career it was a real sad story. His career kind of went away. But his name, I remember thinking, what a great footballer's name, Leon Jean.
Yeah. We had a, I think his name was Binks in our team, and I was desperate for Binks and Winks to play in the same side, but
not to be.
Wasn't to be.
I thought with Atalanta in the week they have a Zappacosta and a Zapata. Thought that was quite unique. Yeah. Anyway, I met once Weasel Fitness. What a name! I saw Chris shooting outside Hamleys on Regent Street once. I caught eye contact with him before he pulled the classic raise of the eyebrows and press of the lips.
What?
You know
that?
Yeah.
I saw that as a...
No.
Bit weird.
The classic raise of the eyebrows and pressing of the lips before accelerating off behind me, clutching his Hamleys bag. He was sacked by Brighton 2 days later, and part of me loves the idea of that bag containing a Lego R2-D2. Helped him get over those rough times.
He's at Hamleys going, not going well. It's not going well. Let's be his inner monologue, Jim. This is what's going on in as Chris Hughton's in Hamleys.
Well, I like the idea of him. He wasn't even supposed to go into Hamleys, but he was walking past, and he thought, "Do you know what? I need a treat.
I need it because things are not going well at work. I'll try my best. Sometimes Chrissy Houghton's got to get treated. Sometimes I've got to get treated. And most footballers and rich people would go and see a prostitute.
Yeah,
Chrissy, too wholesome.
Too awesome, yeah. What a lovely man.
Just take a left turn into...
Love Star Wars. Oh, in his head, he's going, I love Star Wars. Star Wars is great. I love Lego. This is perfect.
And I think R2-D2 is my favourite Star Wars character.
Do I need a yo-yo? No. No, I've got a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Barbie. No, I can't be seen buying a Barbie.
I'm a man. You're Chris, you're a man. Come on.
Yeah. I could get one for Glenn as well. Glenn Murray loves Barbies.
Glenn Murray.
Best get the Lego.
Go look at this. Yeah,
why is that bloke looking at me? Best get out of here. Right. Samisms. Wow. What a bountiful week it's been for Samisms. Many a Samism. For those of you who don't know what a Samism is, it's a mix-up of two phrases or just a mix-up of a phrase. It was created by the late, great... He's still alive.
Great. He's alive.
Sam Peoples, who is currently dominating the Man United YouTube scene. Go and check it out. United People's TV in Ghana, yeah. But I think I can say this. So Flav needed our addresses for something and in our Ball Street group, and no one's noticed this, but Adam on the ones and twos asked what your missus's name was, and which is Ollie, and you wrote Lauren. And no one's said anything after that. So
No,
I think Adam thinks it's Lauren.
You've got it. You what?
Didn't you write Lauren?
No, Adam wrote Lauren. I asked what his missus' name was.
Oh, right.
So you've just read that, misread it, and you loved it.
I loved it. I was like, "This is great." I was like, "Oh, should I stop the joke? Because that's a bit mean." If he gets to the wedding and he goes, "Oh, congratulations, Lauren." I thought that was genius from you.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, right. Well, shame. Okay, don't worry. Anyway, so Sam, good old Sam. The important thing I think with this is to make sure if you see a Samism and you want me to read it out, you put it in our YouTube comments of this video. But more important than that, please tweet Sam the same Samism, because he's got to learn. Right. Dave White, Samism. Flav was on Redmen TV. Flav with a Samism.
Did I?
Flav was on Redmen TV today and uttered this peach. You need all of the bits of the pie in order for it to taste good. Possibly a mix of all the pieces of the puzzle combined with the early signs of a stroke.
No, I'm not having that. Signs of a stroke.
Good comment, Dan.
Fucking bastard. Yeah, that is good, to be fair. I don't think that was. I think I created a new saying, fundamentally. Right. So I'm talking about all the ingredients of a pie in a football. I was using that as a metaphor for what a manager needs in order to succeed. I'm not having that, Dave.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But good, good comment. Yeah. Theo Baker on the pitch side podcast had a nightmare. Danny Galloway, Theo Baker with a cracking Samism on his podcast this week when he described Ronaldo kicking the ball at Curtis Jones as throwing his toys in the pram.
In the pram.
That's incredibly dangerous.
Subtle. Yeah, that is subtle. That's a subtle one. All he's got is in and out. Wrong. Yeah.
He's throwing his toys in the pram. So he's tidying up. What is that? Anyway,
throwing the toys out of the pram, isn't it?
No, I know, but what would if that was an actual phrase? Throwing his toys in the pram. I don't know what that is. Is that being incredibly composed? That's essentially Adam Boltwood, isn't it? He's constantly
when
throwing...
things go tits up. Adam Boltwood throws
his toys in the pram. Just sorts it out.
Yeah.
Ari...
What's that?
A success, I think.
It sounds like success to me, James.
See, what you gone with, an Nespresso pod there?
Yes.
Lovely.
I've gone with... So James, for so long I've been thinking about how can I make a coffee without James getting annoyed at me ruining the professionalism of this shit.
Big joke.
And then I just thought, let's make a game of it.
Yeah. Well, do you know what's good? It's not actually that loud. It's not very loud.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
All right. It's loud here.
Yeah. Maybe it's the high pass you've got on it. Ari Stomatikos, Samism, Steve McManaman. When asked about James Maddison, he said, "Score today and it will be back on the tip of everyone's lips." Mixing up tip of the tongue with edge of my lips. I'm not even sure if that's a phrase, to be honest.
Edge of my lips?
It's on the edge
What's
of
that?
my lips.
Hang on a minute. Has there been a Samism within a Samism?
Yeah, whoa.
That's more meta. That's Inception.
Ow.
Hang on. Edge of my lips. It's on the edge of my tongue. It's on the edge of my tongue.
We could have a ban here. Bear with. Edge of my lips.
It's not edge of my lips. It's definitely not. I'm pretty sure it's edge of my tongue.
Oh.
No.
No,
it's not there.
Oh, dear. Hang on. Let's give him one last chance.
It's not there.
Edge of the mouth? No. Oh dear.
So what's happening in his brain now? This geezer's like,
pure panic.
He'll be panicking. Yeah, he'll be watching this going, "Oh fuck, no." Ari's like looking now. He's reeling. Basically, he's reeling back from his computer, going, "Fuck."
Yeah. The world's
God,
like,
what have I done?
There's like a high pitched white light noise. And then he'll hear these words slowly but effectively. Ari, 1 week ban, you prick.
Fucking dickhead, Ari. Mate, that's incredible. A Samism within a Samism is wonderful work.
Yeah, the audacity.
Yeah. Oh God, Steve McManaman, what a fucking idiot. He did a Samism on live TV, and in explaining it,
Ethan Green, Samism alert. He's got a double from a couple of managers, I think, or ex-pros. Walsall boss Matt Taylor describing Joss Labidi's injury spell. He's missed 3 games, so he's itching at the bit. He's itching at the bit. Also, not explicitly a Samism, but absolutely killed me. Ex-pro Ian Roper last weekend recalling his favourite match. I remember it like it was tomorrow.
That's stupid.
It's just dumb, isn't it? Ian Roper, if you're watching, bad. Plonker, last one. Samism. Well. Look who dragged the cat in the bag. that was from Marcus, a.k.a. Hellspawn. 2nd of June, 2021. Very specific.
What's that mean?
I don't know. If someone can let us know what Marcus, also known as Hellspawn.
Hellspawn?
It's horrible.
That was your nickname, Hellspawn. Grim.
Right, power move time.
Are these all from this week?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to be honest, I got sick of screenshotting so many of them. What I would like to say is with power moves, which is stolen from Hamish and Andy, thank you very much, Hamish and Andy, I hope you don't sue us, is you've got to be careful with the amount of dick in the power move, because you don't want it to drift to a dick move. You just want to dominate. You don't want to be a dick. So if there's too much dick, Flav, make sure you let me know.
Okay.
Last week, because for example, last week power move. There wasn't.
I'm not sure I'm the guy to ask you if there's going to be too much dick.
I think
there's
you'll
never
know.
too much dick in my.
Last week, of course, we had the one where we had do you go cock to cock or bum to bum? From Callum, which was good. So this week, here's a few. Oh, this is a good one. This is really good. Orla, OD, power move. Me and my old flatmate, used to do this, where at any point one of us would look at the other and ask, "Have you been crying?" We called it the ultimate power move and was most effective when the other person was in a group of people, preferably in jovial spirits, and then you'd hit them. Have you been crying? Immediately,
I think that.
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
Okay, I'll finish off. Immediately, people around them would become concerned and or confused by the dominance that had been established. Slightly awkward if they actually had been, in fact, crying. Thoughts?
It just reminded me of if you're in an argument like mates and it's getting to a point where there might be punches thrown, and you go, "You're gonna cry." That's because then they're like, because they're so emotionally unstable at that point. You can send them down that crying path just by suggesting it. It's like they're hypnotized with rage.
Yeah, you just don't want tears and punches. Well, that will probably help you in the fight.
George Groves famously and Carl Froch had the run-in before they fought each other.
Yeah.
And George Groves pulled that on Carl Froch, and it did look like Carl Froch was about to cry. It's uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
It's great. There's great evidence of it. Dick move.
I like the scenario of it being. Yeah, everyone's like, "Yeah, great gag, great gag." Have you been crying? I think it's quite good. That kind of softens it somewhat in terms of the penis aspect. John Dewhurst. Speaking of penises, that's a joke. I once worked for a company who had offices in multiple cities. Once a week, we'd go on a video conference call with the different offices to go over targets. Most of the people in this call were in their 40s, but there were 2 young people, me at 25 at the time, and a beautiful Jessica Alba lookalike. Jessica Alba. Due to our similar age, we developed a bond. This was until one day when she greeted me with, "Hey girl!" to him. She went, "Hey girl." Not knowing what to say, I stumbled over my words and never recovered. To this day, I'm convinced it's the ultimate power move a girl can use to get rid of a guy she doesn't fancy, which in this situation was me. That is tough. You don't want to be called "Hey girl," do you?
Yeah, no, it's tough. You've been friend-zoned in that aspect.
Indeed. Johnson Thompson. Good name. Johnson Thompson. Me. Johnson Thompson. At your service. When we're walking quickly and come across a fellow human, this got lots of likes, this one. Also walking with some pace, but you're slightly quicker. Not much quicker, but just slightly. You slowly gain on them, and instead of breezing past like you do versus dawdlers, you move over for the slow overtake. The power move comes when you don't alter your pace too quickly when you overtake them. You embrace each moment as you slowly edge past them. You let them know I'm walking quicker than you, but I will not let you dictate how fast I walk.
That's good.
It ends with the eventual step in front, and then they are left watching the back of your head slowly bob into the distance. Yeah, that's good. Same goes with running. If you ever take someone with running, you don't want to look. You have to retain, what's the word? Comfort. So you don't run like that past someone. You go like it's easy.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like whilst your legs are like a swan, just furiously. I mean, not legs like a swan, but you're furiously going for it because you want to overtake with real authority. Josh Shepherd, being the person to initiate saying bye or generally triggering the end of a phone call. Usually both parties can feel the closure of the call coming, so by beating your opponent to it, you show them that you're the alpha and that they are dismissed only when you say so. And final one, Finley Sheehan, power move. Recently, me and my friends at the pub will all grasp another person's drink at the same time, stopping them being able to drink their pint. It makes sure they know that they're allowed to drink when you let them.
So when they go to drink and you hold the pint, quite like that.
You got to stare them out as well because they'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
put it down. And there you go. If you've got any more powers, let us know. Comments below.
Can I nip in here with a bit more football chat?
Of course you can.
Bielsa, you got to go.
Bielsa?
Yes, you.
Absolutely not.
Chippy.
Sacrilege. Got lots of injuries. They'll be fine.
Should they? You kind of got to look at him a little bit, ain't you?
Won the last game.
Yeah. Is he good enough?
Yeah. Is the game moved on?
Is the game moved on from
from his forward-thinking Bielsa ball from last year?
It's funny that all of the Leeds attitude stuff has just fallen by the wayside now that they're in the bottom 5.
They will.
Just saying.
They will be fine. I think they'll still finish 14th, 13th.
I know, but will the Leeds attitude still be the thing when they finish 14th?
Yeah. Will they turn on him? I doubt it. I do doubt it.
I'm not saying they'll turn on him, but just where's the narrative this season?
But yeah,
now he's playing football, but they're not 4th or whatever they were this time last year.
Yeah. I guess you do want an element of quality to it. Like West Brom fans are a bit, although they're doing quite very well, they're a bit fed up with the manager because it's like, can everyone just stop running and like just keep it for a bit? Like they're getting a bit bored of that.
I think
some West Brom fans.
The problem is with his style of play is that potentially, you're asking a lot, and it's the same message over and over again. So you need to refresh that squad quite a lot, I think.
Maybe. I mean,
anyway, sorry. What we'll go back to the usual.
Well, with final thing,
Okay.
like I said, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it will never die. And we have two bits. This week. Okay. Could it be the end? This could be the end. I don't know. Surely it'll die at some point. Who will go? Someone did write. Who goes first? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Buffet Chat? Which one will die first? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Ollie Harvey. Quick question for Buffet Chat. How do you approach an all-inclusive holiday? That's a lot of buffets. 3 a day, actually. Is there a change of mindset?
This is good because I was thinking, when you got kids and stuff, like all-inclusive in Turkey is wonderful, right?
Mm.
That's what I'm thinking of next year, maybe before we get married, if we can afford it.
Do they eat meat?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
right. Lot of in an all-inclusive buffet. What I'm struck by.
Have you ever been to one, Jim? An all-inclusive holiday?
Yes. Yeah. On the honeymoon, we went to Kenya.
I don't have experience. You tell me.
As a kid, I remember what struck me was just the amount of frankfurters. Always sausages for me. That's where my eyes go. But I think because with all inclusive, you've got to be careful there. You can't go high end sausages. So there's a lot of certainly abroad as well. They'll go with a lot. There's a lot of frankfurters knocking about. And you can just leave them.
I would imagine there's there'd be a lot of salami and ham.
Yeah. Cheese
around as well.
Now, so yeah, on honeymoon we stayed in an all-inclusive place, and it was great. But I got to be honest. I mean, it kind of not ruins the holidays at the stretch, but
go on.
I couldn't not eat loads every single time. So I felt I was gonna pop. for the bulk of it.
James.
Do you know what I do? I'd find us because as well we'd like basically you try to get in shape for the wedding, and then once the wedding's over, you go, oh right, great. So then you start going to restaurants and stuff. You start putting on a bit of weight, and then you go do the all inclusive, and it's like sometimes I go in the sea just to exhale, just go, just to let it out. Do you know what I mean? When you're in private, you just go boing. Let it be. Thought it was going to pop.
I can imagine you just walking around everywhere, just feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Just like,
I'd go in the sea, and so it was just nice for the buoyancy. But what would happen a lot of the times, I just like roll up, and there'd just be like a little island of belly.
Just like that. You go back into the water and just be like that. Blob, blob.
Yeah, and then you get out and just like tuck it in. Tuck it in until you got back and got to your your Lilo or whatever it was, and you'd lie on your front. Oh, let it back out.
Where did you go, Jim?
Went to Kenya. For safari.
You went in the sea in Kenya.
Yeah, it's good.
Sharks here, Jim.
Diani Beach. Yeah, don't worry about that, mate. Let's get to me.
That's true, actually.
Certain areas is fine. Yeah, that's true. Just Google that, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Sharks are only afraid of James Allcott. Yeah, so I would say, look, you're not going to enjoy it, but you're going to get value. If you can show an element of restraint, what I would maybe say is skip lunch. Just go for a 2 meal and dominate those two. I don't know.
Do you get alcohol for free as well?
That's a good point. I don't know. I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised, but yeah, I don't know. Look, for me personally, I struggle to draw a line. So I guess that's just something you've got to kind of figure out yourself.
Did Fam have any troubles drawing the line?
Yeah, she's much better at that. She's going, I don't need any more. And I see that's the problem as well. So I'm like, I'm ready to pop, and she goes, I can't finish this. And I'm like, right, give it here. Finish hers as well. That's a good one for the comments. Maybe we have got one more week of buffet talk. All inclusive holiday. That's 3 buffets a day. How do you tackle that? Is there a change of mindset? I think there's got to be I think you've got to turn the volume down in terms of the desire to be a winner. Yeah, maybe you can put that to the side because you got 3 a day. That's a lot. Taran's back. He's got another comment.
Oh, is he?
That's
do you think he is this geezer?
The aforementioned dickhead.
Oh, because I sometimes do this. I make these jokes, not this one specifically, but I make these jokes, and I'm thinking, shit, they do realise I'm joking here, and I'm not being serious.
Yeah, I'm deadly.
I worry about that.
I don't know. Anyway, Taran.
Yeah.
Last comment we'll be hearing from you because you'll be banned for a week. In honor of in honor of Ryan Morris's brave comment, it has encouraged me to speak out. Oh God.
Fuck this up, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll ignore everything we've just said. Let's read your serious comment.
No. It's fine. In honor of Ryan Morris's brave comment, it has encouraged me to speak out on my dislike of buffets. Why are you listening to this? Why?
Whoa. Oh, so I thought you was going to go something. I've got the person on speak out about my mental health problem or something like that. What he's actually doing is taking a dig at the show, really. If anything.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love buffet chat, but I hate buffets. The reason for this is that being a wheelchair user, and wheelchair users can be dickheads, so don't make me feel bad about that.
There's no discrimination here.
Yeah. Don't see how people go, no.
Didn't know.
Still banned me, and I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less that you're a wheelchair user, all right? Buffets are a logistical nightmare for me. This does make sense.
Yeah.
Having to juggle balancing my plate on my lap whilst pushing my wheelchair and trying to analyse the best tactical decision for my first plate is a bloody joke. Now, before you say it, yes, of course, I can always ask someone from my family to come and help me. However, is that not just the same as having someone from the restaurant looking at you with judging eyes as they plate up your 4th sausage for you? Yeah, I don't want to be doing that. In fact, this is amazing, actually. I might have to revoke the ban because there's a phrase here that is unbelievable and I would never find the words for it, but it's so good.
Go ahead.
Where are we? the fourth sausage for you. In fact, I would even say it's worse, as I live with the person pouring my plate. Pouring my plate. Just take that as unbelievable literature. Pouring my plate. So they can hold the fact that I ate 4 sausages over my head even when we get home. I'm more than happy to take some advice from YouTube buffet beasts. However, until then, I will be sticking with sit-down meals. Excuse the pun. Great comment, Darren.
It's a funny guy, isn't he?
Interesting. He is a funny guy. Pouring my plate. Yeah, no, I get you. I understand. First of all, yeah, with the plates that you're given, I think here's one thing I would say. You know, there's sort of plate bowls. I think, could you ask for a plate bowl? That would help if it's on your lap, surely, because it would be safe. No?
I don't feel like he needs a bowl just because he's in the wheelchair. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying plate bowl because of the wobbling when he's got to move his wheelchair back to his table. I think that's an option, is what I'm saying.
I think it's an option, but I just think he probably has the finesse to deal with any kind of plate, given the fact that, I don't know, how long's he been in a wheelchair?
I don't know, but it's those small plates where you're trying to like put loads and loads on. It's going to drift off. You're going to have noodles on your jeans.
Pour my plate.
That's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Could you get yourself a tray, put that over the arms, and that could also allow you to dominate. And also have, because it's quite a personal and private endeavour, isn't it? You don't want to be watched, and you don't want to be served. You want to just get what you want. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 sausages yourself with no guilt. So I understand, Taryn. I understand. It's tricky. I don't know. Maybe is there a kindred spirit you can trust to go up there to go and dominate? I don't know. Tricky. Let's know what Taryn should do, and Taryn can read it in 3 weeks. I'm not going back on this ban. I'm joking. We're putting it down 1 week, 2 weeks. There you go. Yeah. And that's your lot. That is your lot.
Anything trending?
Oh yeah, quick. What's trending? Shall we? Let's have a look. What on earth is trending?
Erik ten Hag.
Oh, let's have a look.
Where's he going? The thing is these what used to be like trending because something's happened and there's news is now just people using just typing. So there is no fucking news.
Paul Pogba trending. Diego Simeone. Why is Paul Pogba trending? He's got a new haircut. No, what's this? He never saw rules. Paul Pogba only saw possibilities. He played to his own rhythm, reinvented the midfield, and inspired all people to see the possibilities and putting their own spin on the game. Yeah, and that's him getting sent off. He does get bad rap, doesn't he? Someone did say, we were talking about young Allens.
Yeah.
People forget he's called Paul. It's like Phil Foden, isn't it? Would Conte keep or let go Paul Pogba? It doesn't feel like there's any news here. Oh, his response to false reports. What's this? Tabloid press once again wants to create polemic with 100% fake news. Big lies to make headlines. Journalists who use my name to be seen when there is nothing to see. The only reason I address this BS is out of respect to my coach, club and fans. Why? What's he done?
Fair. I can't remember. There was some just talk about Pogba and fucking, there's the usual stuff about Pogba. Every time United are not playing that well and he's sort of on the fringe of the side, he's got an attitude problem apparently.
Right. There we have it.
Antonio Conte will be on the bench this. Do
you think he'll be subdued, or do you think he'll be like, passionate?
Tonight he'll be calm because it's the fucking
Conference League.
You're right. Yeah, Conference League means nothing. But I think against Everton at the weekend, you're going to see. Like I've been watching, obviously celebrations and stuff at Chelsea are amazing. Diving into the crowd and that, he's fucking mad, the geezer.
Yeah, we should see if he does it again.
That's the win first.
Exciting times for Spurs. Exciting times for myself and Flav. Exciting times for you because it's the weekend. Congratulations, you've made it. Enjoy it and we'll see you again next week. If you want to become a patron, there is a link in the description. Join us for our mailbag. Most of the time, it's Tuesday at 10 a.m. So if you want to enjoy that, where we got a hot, steamy reaction from Flav after Conte had got the gig, then you could have enjoyed that if you become a patron. So get yourselves involved. Lovely bunch. Thank you to our patrons in the chat. Have a great day, guys. Thanks a lot. Hit the like button, all those bits and pieces, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.